Hey guys, this is Ron. Do you like movies?
Hey guys, this is Ragnar. Do you like alcohol?
Hey guys, this is Stu. Do you like punishments?
Hey guys, this is Chase. You want to hear me get alcohol poisoning?
Hey guys, this is Lenny. Ever wonder what a spicy boner is? If so, come on down to Barrel Age Flicks and give us a listen.
This show is brought to you by the Deluxe Edition Network. Head over to theden.show for other great podcasts.
Bring back the 90-minute movie. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Deluxe Edition, the show where we love to talk about all kinds of things, pop culture being maybe the most prominent one. I'm here, as always, with my friend Trigger. Trigger! How you doing, Trigger? Trigger! I'm here as always with Mr. Casey Sheeran. My name is Bill Siebold. So, Trigger, we just got off the phone right before this, and I didn't tell you I was going to bring it up, but you were telling me about your finger, and I'm still thinking about it. Because why don't you go ahead and tell me, if you don't mind, sharing your old age illnesses with the audience?
Absolutely. Sure. Bill, good to see you, dude. I haven't seen you in two episodes. I feel like it feels like longer.
Okay. You want to go do that preamble that we just did on the phone? All right. I know. All right. Let's start it. Let's restart the show. Everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Deluxe Edition. Yes, Casey, it has been a summer break. We take this summer break every year, and it just seems to be like we never planned for it. It just sort of happens. And it's like, hey, dude, are you busy? Yeah, I'm on vacation. Shit, I'm on vacation the week after. And then you're like, well, then I'm going to be on the vacation the week after that. It's like, damn it, we're not going to be able to record together for weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, but thanks to our friends, our good friends. Great show with Paul, man. Awesome show. That was
the hair metal
really
show?
Good. I like that. Yeah. Thanks to Ray from 10 Cent Beer Night Podcast. He helped me out with the cartoons episode. I think I mentioned this to Ray on our show. We are the longest running podcast, I feel like, with the least amount of episodes.
Could be. That could be. What do they say? Don't they say most podcasts don't even get past 11 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like 62.
Yeah.
We're up there.
All right. Yeah. So good to see you, man. So yes, I was at the orthopedic urgent care today. My hand for the last week has been just steadily getting worse. I don't know what the problem was. It hurt like hell, but apparently I have something that's called trigger finger, which I didn't even know. I always thought that it would be your trigger, your actual trigger finger, but it's my middle finger. Sorry, but
he's flipping everybody off. All the priests who listen to this show just logged out. They just dumped us, man. Yeah, killing our audience.
But yeah, like, so if you're watching, you might be able to see it. My middle finger, it clicks when I get there, and I don't know. I got a steroid shot in it, and it does feel significantly better. Like, I literally just had the shot about an hour ago. So he said it'll be better with, the next few days. It'll progressively get better. So
yeah, the part that freaked me out was the needle you got and the button he pressed on your hand that basically unlocked your finger.
Yeah, the needle, he put the needle in here. If you're watching on YouTube, he put the needle in here and it went up this way, sort of into my finger. And then also, like, before the shot, he's a hand doctor, so he was pressing on these tendons and whatever nerves in my hand, and he found the one that controls this finger, and I was moving it freely without any pain or locking or clicking of the finger. And I was like, can you see that? He's like, yeah, that's the tendon there. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like,
yeah,
that's
weird. The body is a pretty interesting fucking thing, but I always hear, like, some of these ads on TV that like offer these amazing things that you can take and it'll change your body chemistry and do all these things. Like, I never know what's true or what's not, but like shit like that's amazing. But I've always heard there's parts on your foot that if you pinch them wrong, like your shoulders will go numb, like all sorts of weird things because the circulatory, the nervous system, whatever is all linked up.
Yeah.
But I've never actually seen that happen. Like somebody,
Right.
Steps on a rake and all of a sudden they can't open their mouth.
Right.
But it might be believable. I mean, it might be real. It might really happen.
Well, I said to him, because I've been having shoulder issues I've actually had surgery on both of my shoulders, but this right shoulder has really been bothering me the last couple months. And I said to him, I said, this might sound odd. I said, but is there any way that it's linked? It could be linked from my shoulder to and he was like, no, no, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with your shoulder. He's like, you have trigger finger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Juice me up, doc.
How many times are you gonna have to go to get that shot?
I don't know. I have no idea. Hopefully not too often.
Yeah. What did your hand look like before you got the shot?
It was, I could not make a fist. Like I was like that. Like it hurt very bad.
Oh man.
And like, dude, for me to go to urgent care, like this is over a week of, pain. I bought a wrist, like a wrist splint, like thinking, something might have been with that. I was sleeping with that at night. Today it just, like, I had ice on it all day yesterday, and then finally went today. Just for me to go to a doctor or anything, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I do know that about you. I'm dying. Go to a doctor.
My chest really hurts. Like I have this pulling. Do you think you ought to go? No, I'm pretty sure it's just my muscles.
Yeah.
I've said that like in the past.
So have I. Honestly, so have I. And then I've had those pains sometimes that just feel so strange. It's like, oh, that's definitely cancer. Like all the, I don't know. I run the gamut. You know what I was supposed to bring up though? The first thing on my agenda, now that we're just kind of running rogue. This is, by the way, everybody, this is one of them shows. This is a multi-topic show. No theme. If there's a theme, we haven't discovered it yet. We'll keep on going, and maybe it'll be there. You wanted to talk about, and I know why your hand's fucked up, because you're doing a lot of the social media stuff. Tons of it, man. Like, you probably never tinkered that much with a computer and on the phone as you do now. But you got us into, speaking of social media and internet, tell us about the podcast awards.
Yes, the podcast awards. So we are up for a People's Choice Award. If you go to the podcast, or it's just podcastawards.com, and Bill will link you in the video here, and the link will be in the description as well. But yeah, People's Choice Awards. This award show has been going on since I think 2005. We are now, we're in the People's Choice Award category, and also in the TV and film category, because we do celebrity interviews and such about films, TV and films. So yeah, definitely please go to podcastawards.com and vote for us.
Very cool. And for every vote you guys place, Casey will give you $1.
Yeah, or I'll give you a sticker. Prove to me that you voted for us, and I'll send you a sticker.
That's probably illegal. That's probably a bribe. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing we're allowed to do, but let's do it. Very cool, Casey. Very cool. The next thing I want to talk about, Casey, I'm calling this, what did you do this summer? Yeah, I'm here with my little doggy, my little puppy.
Oh,
yeah.
Molly
the puppy.
She can't hear me because you have earbuds in. So I'm not gonna talk in my Molly voice.
Molly. Yeah, my sweet little one. It's like, since I've been on vacations, we're moving into our vacation segment. We do that thing, like my wife holds up the phone and I start going, "Hi, Molly. Woo, you see Daddy, dude." I'm like, this is a dog. Why? And my pup has no idea. But Molly will like watch TV. She'll watch crazy stuff on TV. If a dog or a cat or a horse, she hates horses.
Really?
Jumps up, like, if the horse runs by the screen, Molly will run to that screen, jump up there and start, "Rawr!" And it's like she sees the TV as a mirror. But for some reason, she can't, I'm talking about you. She can't see the phone. She like can't see me through the phone. But I was so embarrassed doing it. It's just like, what the fuck has happened to me? I became a dog person, like to the 1000th degree. That I didn't even want to go on vacation because I didn't want to be away from this little dog. I swear. She snorts like a pig if you hear her. I don't know. She's a schnauzer, but she's
such a sweet dog.
Yeah. No, I did miss her. So she's real clingy, because I really haven't been back long. So she's real clingy. She's been hanging out all day with me.
Right.
So what did you do? What are some of the highlights of your vacation so far?
I haven't even had a vacation yet, man. Did we talk about my dad at all? The month of May?
I was going to see what you wanted to bring up.
Yeah. So the month of May for me was gone. My dad had open heart surgery and he spent the month of May here with us in Florida. So I didn't do much the month of May except hang out with him. We went to the Tallahassee Automobile Museum. That was pretty cool. Other than that, man, nothing. I just been watching shows, which I want to talk about a little bit later in the show. But
all this time, and I even said at the beginning of the show, I thought you were on vacation. And you know why I thought you were on vacation? Because you weren't flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I assumed you were on your summer vacation. That's why it was called it a summer vacation for you. My bad. It wasn't even a vacation.
No, not even close. Bud.
Oh man. Well, then you also were in LA.
Yes.
That was.
Yeah.
I guess that was work. I guess that wasn't a vacation.
It was a work trip, but I managed to sneak in a little pleasure time.
Yeah.
And you were there.
Yeah.
What? You were there a week before me. I'm like, Bill, I'm gonna be in LA next week. Can you just stay 1 extra day, 2 extra days? Nope, gotta go home.
I did. All right. I want to talk about my vacation because you don't even know all of it.
Okay.
All right. But it's really funny because we almost bumped into each other. All right. Oh yeah. I've been really for all of June, I've been jumping all over the place. I was out. I was in Key West for a while, having a few days. I was in LA. I had to do a talk for NAMM, the big convention out in the Anaheim Convention Center. So out in LA, and this is something I do every year rather. I try to get out to LA every year and I try to do this talk, or I at least try to go to the NAMM show. It's just the greatest show. It's so cool. There's musicians everywhere, and it's just the greatest time. So I was out there, and we've become friends with Mark Singer, the Beastmaster, Mark Singer. He's out there, and I was like, "Hey, Mark, I'm gonna be in LA." Just like, this is so sad. I know he's gonna be so bothered. Would you like your picture taken? Because photographer. Just got a cover of HFM magazine, Casey. Huh? Look at me go. So I said, maybe you'd like your picture taken? He said, yeah, sure. And then I got nervous. He said, yes. Shit. Like, listen, I love Mark. We've talked about it before. Like, Beastmaster and everything that he's done was just always on TV for me. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So he gave me his address. And I'm not going to say where it is, but it's in an iconic part of Hollywood. So I go over and he greets me outside, and his house is gorgeous. It's one of the coolest homes I've ever seen. I met his daughter, Phoebe. She's one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. And the three of us are just kind of hanging out. We're chilling and we're talking for hours. And the more that we're talking, the more they make me feel so comfortable. And we're just kind of like, I see guitars all over the house. And I'm like, oh yeah, me, I got to have a guitar in my hand if there's a guitar in the room. And he sensed it right away. Go grab some. We were talking about the guitars, and he starts playing a goddamn song for me, Casey, that I swear was so good that at the end of the song, I said, I know you're lying to me. You didn't write that. There's just no way, because it was such a good song. He's, oh yeah, I wrote that here. I wrote this too. He's an amazing musician. And then, like, I was gushing over his guitar playing. He goes, can I show you one more thing? And he walks over to the grand piano and he starts playing this beautiful thing. He's like, this is going to be an instrument. This is going to be a song for the holidays. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then he was showing me some of the writing that he does. He's a master at writing. He's so poetic and everything. It's just, the guy is absolutely the most talented dude in the world. I was so impressed. And we went and we had some food. We bonded some more. He gave me a nice tour of Hollywood. He showed me Burbank. He showed me all sorts of things that I didn't know about the studios and what was there before it was studios. I'm telling you, man, I had the greatest time. And when you were like, hey, I'm going to be in LA, I just so bad wanted to make it happen. I really tried to make it happen, but I couldn't. So you ended up catching Mark on like the... So go ahead and tell your story.
I had the exact same experience just 3 days later. I'm like, oh man, damn, if we could have been there together, dude. Like, I mean, it would have been less work for Mark because he wouldn't have had to entertain both of us at separate times. But yeah, just what an amazing guy. So I didn't even tell you this. I was saving this for the podcast. I was on the phone with him earlier in the day, and he's, what's this? Hold on. Yeah, call me back then. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I'll see you at 6. So I get to his house. He's holding a glass. He meets me outside. Beautiful, like just like you said. And one thing I want to say about he was like, "What are you taking a picture of?" I don't know if you remember, but on the wall outside of his house, there's like aloe. It's just all like a wall of aloe. I've never seen that before. Like maybe it's a normal thing in California, but I was like, I have to take a picture of this. I've only ever seen like potted aloe plants, you know? So he's holding a glass. Like I thought he was drinking a glass of water or something. He's like, yeah, this is what I found earlier when I was on the phone with you. It was a baby hummingbird that he found. It must have fell out of the tree or, taken a flight, like tried to take its first flight, didn't make it or whatever. He's nursing this baby hummingbird back to life. Like honestly, feeding it with an eyedropper of sugar water.
Wow.
And
He is the
I met
Beastmaster.
Phoebe.
What you wouldn't expect anything else.
Right. So I'm like, dude, you're still a Beastmaster.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
just incredible, dude. Incredible.
it was so great. It happened, and it was like, could this happen? And when it did happen, I was just like, man, what an
Right.
unforgettable moment. Just such wonderful people. Phoebe
Yeah.
too. Did you get to meet the daughter?
I did.
His
Yeah,
daughter.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
She. They say to me, they go, "Oh, she's an artist," and I'm like, this is the worst thing when somebody says, "Hey, I'm an artist. Can I show you my stuff?" Because I'm an artist, and I'm very picky, and I'm very opinionated. So it's the worst when like a bad artist comes up and you're like, "Oh, it's good," and you're lying. No, she was great. She's so good and so talented. And I'm just like, there's so much talent in that family. Just
Yeah.
amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah, man. It's just so sweet and so kind. Just I even said to Mark, like, I hadn't heard that kind of excitement coming out of your voice in a long time. Like when you called me, you're like, I just saw Mark Singer's out.
I know. I sounded silly. I'm driving all around LA telling you, I'm like, I don't know where I am. Yeah, he inspired me a lot. Like we still talk about photography and art and stuff. And he can talk on a level that a lot of people can about art. So I'm just in awe. Yeah, I thought that was great. It's like we talked in one of our shows about how we're making friends with some of the people we interview, but I mean, I never thought I was going to be hanging out with Mark, so that was definitely special for me.
Yeah, Mark's one of those guys where he like, especially for me, he'll say things where I'm like, oh shit, I have to remember that what he said so I could look it up later because I have no idea what that means.
All right, well, yeah, I just we could talk about Mark forever. To be honest with you, we love the guy. All right, but we're gonna move on to. You got more?
Can
Go
we
ahead.
can say he's gonna be back on the show again soon too. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
He loves our show. He loves talking with us.
yeah.
Anything else?
Not yet.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So check out just put in your favorites and just click on and save the realmarksinger.com. Just hang on to that. Keep that in your you can save that in your history. I see a star up in my history thing. You can click on that and
It's called bookmarking.
bookmark it.
Bookmarking. It's bookmarking. Bookmark it.
There you go. TheRealMarkSinger.com.
TheRealMarkSinger.com. Coming soon to an interwebs near you. All right, moving on to the next segment, Casey. I call this. I need theme music for like every one of these segments. Dun, 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 dun. What are you watching? Dun, dun. This is the What Are You Watching segment, Casey.
Cool.
Casey, what are you watching?
I got 2 really good shows that I've been watching. One I binged watched, and one is a brand new show and only comes out on Fridays at 10. Which one would you like to hear about first?
All right, well, I know what yours are because you leaked it to me earlier, and only one of them I've heard of. So let's start with
Okay.
Old Man. What is The Old
Okay.
Man?
So The Old Man, it's a show on FX. It comes out every Friday at 10 o'clock. It's with Jeff Bridges, who played the Big Lebowski, the dude, right?
Mhm.
It's with, do you remember the show Arrested Development?
Mhm.
You remember the girl Maybe? She was the cousin.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I don't know her real name. But she's in it. and John Lithgow is in it. John Lithgow is an amazing actor.
I love John Lithgow. You ever see him
Yeah.
in Dexter? That season with him in Dexter was awesome.
Yes. So he's John Lithgow is an FBI agent, and he's on he's an I don't know if he's retired, semi-retired, or what. They bring him in. They're trying to find Dan Chase, who is played by Jeff Bridges. As the story goes on, you find out that Jeff was an ex-CIA agent and has just been on the run for a long time, has multiple identities. Just an amazing show. The only the only thing that I'll say about it is Barbara and I have said the same thing, my girlfriend. He does this weird thing with his mouth now, Jeff Bridges, the way that he talks. He has his tongue out all the time. I'm not sure. Like
he's got a big wad of dip in his mouth.
Yeah. But other than that, the acting in it is great. There's a little bit that is a little far-fetched. Like he's the old man. He's a former CIA agent. He's however old Jeff Bridges is, and like they have him getting in like tussles and fights with people, which obviously as a CIA agent, whatever he was trained to do that, to kill like that. But the way how quickly he's recovering from these beatings that he's taking in the show as an old man, that's a little far-fetched, but like I have to tell Barbara, it's just television.
Yeah, just go with it.
Yeah.
Remember we had how many episodes ago was that where we were talking about all the tropes on TV? Or well, I know it was the things on TV that make us absolutely insane. Like,
yeah.
Somebody said like the gun that never runs out of bullets. There's
Right.
one, the old man that could seemingly get up without any trouble from a beating. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check that one out.
It's really good. It's really good. He's a great actor, and John Lithgow, anything that he's in is really good. So yeah, highly recommended. It's a great show.
What channel is it on? What's it streaming on?
FX. We watch it on Hulu, so I think it's on FX. Yeah, it's on FX every Friday at 10.
And the other one you said I never heard of. What's the other show?
Oh, the other show? So it's called The Bear.
The Bear. No, I don't know that one.
And it's I probably should have looked these actors' names up. The guy is he played Kip or Lip in Shameless. He was did you ever see that show?
No, people tell me that's a funny show.
That's a good show. I watched
comedy.
Yeah.
What is that show?
Yeah, Shameless was a good show too. I watched the first 2 episodes of that or the first 2 seasons of that years ago. That was with William H. Macy. He was just like a bum, always trying to like get free money from the government. Like he would get a job and work there, and then like accidentally shoot himself with a nail gun so he could get disability money.
Guys, yeah. I know a few of them guys.
But so the show, since we're not live and I can just we can edit this later, let me just look it up. I'll just run down through the cast here because it's a really good show, and it's people that I'm not familiar with. Eben Moss Bacharach, Lionel Boyce, Abby Elliott, Ayo Edebiri, and Liza Cologne Zayas. So the show also not listed, John Bernthal is in it also, but he's only in it for 2 seconds. You find out that he was the brother that Bear takes over for. His nickname's Bear. So he was a world-renowned chef. He actually won some kind of award for being the best chef in the world and worked at the best restaurant in the world. And his brother kills himself and leaves his sandwich shop called The Original Beef in Chicago to his brother, the famous chef. So he comes back and he tries, and he wants, like, his goal is to, turn the restaurant around. They're, I think, $330,000 in debt when he takes over. He owes his uncle all the $330,000 came from his uncle, which you find out like has mob ties. And it's a really, really good show. It's really fast paced. there's a lot of talking over each other in the show. There's a lot of things going on in the show, but it's basically to show you how a restaurant is, like how a sandwich shop like that runs. Like it's very unorganized at times. And like his goal of the show is to change that. Like he wants to run it like the kitchen that he worked in the famous restaurant. Like everybody has a job. Everybody has, this is your station. That's your station. You do this, you do that.
So is this fiction or is this a reality show?
I'm not sure.
Like real life.
It does sound like real life. Like I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it if it's based on a real story or not. I'm not sure. It definitely very well could be.
I don't think it's a reality show because you said Abby Elliott.
Yeah, it's not a reality show, but it could be based on reality.
I don't know. That sounds too real life for me. Put me to sleep. But so you said Abby Elliott is one of the names on there. You know who that is?
No.
So she used to be on Saturday Night Live. Her father is Chris Elliott. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, Chris Elliott. Remember that guy? He was even on Saturday Night Live for a hot minute. He was fucking fun. I like that.
Okay. Guy. Yeah, she plays the sister on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. When you said Abby Elliott, I was like, what happened to Abby Elliott? Yeah.
Yeah. So
she was great on Saturday Night Live. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, all good. So their uncle.
I won't do it again.
I
promise.
I fucking hate you. Their uncle. You're the one that edits this shit, so I don't care. Keep doing it, moron.
Oh no, you're right. Continue.
So the guy that loaned them all the money, the $330,000, it's Oliver Platt.
Oh yeah,
you know who he is? Yeah, he's a great actor too. So and there's a lot of serious tones in it, but it's also very funny at times.
Yeah, it's crazy. The reason I thought of that as a segment is because my employees, I mean, they talk all the time about these shows, and I'm like, where are you finding these shows? How are you hearing about them? And I never get the notice? Nobody's giving me the memo about these shows, and they sound good. Now the bear sounds awful, but a lot of times they
Hey, did I tell you about my trigger finger?
Yeah, it's flipping me off. You can go ahead and pretend you have trigger finger. It's just your excuse to finally flip me off without me getting mad. Because when I'm mad, you're terrified. As I look up at you with my fists out.
And I raise my voice slightly.
You just flick me and I just fly off the fucking... All right, so I've been watching a bunch of shows. The shows I'm watching are pretty popular. So that Obi-Wan show, I know you're not a big Star Wars guy, but that thing actually had some amazing moments. The weird thing about these shows... Star Wars, you're used to seeing those movies and they're such big scale. Now they have to make these shows, I guess, on smaller sound stages with smaller budgets. And I don't know, some of the special effects really suck. But Obi-Wan, that wasn't bad. I watched Miss Marvel. Like there's always a Star Wars show and a Marvel show going at the same time. So they got this Miss Marvel show. It's kind of geared towards kids. It's terrible. I don't like it. But got to watch it. Stranger Things, I just finished that yesterday. I don't remember you ever talking about Stranger Things. Is that a show you watch?
Yeah, we watched the first 3. We haven't watched the new season yet, but yeah, we watched that. Yeah.
Good season.
It's okay.
Yeah. Right. I got into it and then it's like, you're making another one? Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah, what happens with these shows, in my opinion, is I think for the first season of most shows, they have a long time to work on this stuff. Like this might be their thing they've been working on,
yeah.
And it gets picked up and then they might not have a season 2 written and then it gets picked up for season 2 and then they're like, oh fuck, what are we going to do now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, then it ends up turning to fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So the guys that made this, the Duffer Brothers, I don't know who they are. Call them the Mario Brothers. So they have said that this was always supposed to be a 1-season show. And then it was such a hit that now they have to keep on retconning things that they did in the first season to try to make them make sense. And it's kind of cool because in this season, especially, they go back to other seasons and they don't miss details. Even with the Star Wars show and the Marvel shows, there must be a person in each one of these productions who just walks around with a telephone book sized book full of details. so that they got to get everything right. It's crazy. Just
Yeah.
insane. All the
Yeah.
details that they get right in these shows now.
Ray had brought that up on the cartoons episode that we did about. I gave Ray his segment. He always does the news, the pop culture news on 10 Cent Beer Night podcast. He mentioned that the Duffer Brothers, someone caught that in this season they mentioned Will's birthday or something as being, or they mentioned a day that was supposed to be someone's birthday that they mentioned in the past was someone's birthday, and they completely skipped over it. So they went back, I guess, and changed Winona saying May instead of March or something like that.
You're saying, wait a minute, you're saying they went back to the episode?
Yeah, they went back into the file, like the Netflix file, changed it. So now anyone who sees it, it lines up with the current. It lines up. It's correct, like in the timeline.
Well, that's interesting.
Prior to them finding it, it wasn't right. Like, like we saw it as she said March. Now when people see it, she says May.
Wow, that's a thing they're doing now.
Yep.
So that new Spider-Man movie. If you haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie by now, spoilers. The Spider-Man movie had a scene where Spider-Man from one of the other Spider-Man franchises jumps into their universe. And when we saw it in the theater, it looked one way. Then all of a sudden, like a couple weeks later, I guess a version of the film, they fixed the way that looked. They made it look a little bit cooler, a little bit better. So it's fucking crazy to me to think about like movies now as being constantly growing things. They're like evergreen. You can add scenes to them in the future if you want. You can just go back and retcon things. And don't just say it's different. Go back and actually change the words in the mouths of these people. Is that going to happen more?
Yeah. It's also I think Ray and I talked about this as well. It's also a way for them to, hey, buy the new updated version.
Yeah, that's true. Because if I'm a fan of something, they update it. I fall for that all the time.
Hell yeah, dude! I have. Oh, you're selling the Steelbook?
Remember when DVDs, like they'd start putting out blooper reels? I'm like, I gotta have it. So I get the fucking blooper reel, and there's 3 bloopers. None of them are funny. Oh yeah. He's showing us his DVD collection. You do it too. Oh, that racket. How's that all going with streaming? Like, people aren't going to buy DVDs anymore. So how do they get all that extra bonus footage?
I don't know. I still buy them.
Oh,
dude, check this deal out real quick. I'm not affiliated at all. I just signed up for the Full Moon features. Remember, we had talked about Full Moon in the past, Evil Bong, all Puppet Master, all those movies, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to I wish I could remember his name. The guy that owns that, he has a podcast now. And I was listening, he had like John Carpenter on, he had Diana Prince on. That's how I heard her about it. And who Diana Prince is Darcy the Mail Girl on Joe Bob's Last Drive-In. So I signed up for the yearly Full Moon subscription. It has every Full Moon movie on it. It was like $60, I think, for the year. I just got an email yesterday from Full Moon, and it says, here's your access code. You can pick all 12 Puppet Master movies, like the box set of Puppet Master, or pick 10 individual Full Moon features, completely free with the subscription.
Yeah.
No shipping or anything.
Remember when like VHS tapes were like $39.99? Yeah. Like if you wanted to own Titanic, you had to spend, because it was 2 VHSs, you had to spend it twice. Yeah. So how are they making any fucking money?
I don't know. But I mean, maybe that's because they have so much stock. Like you said, maybe they're not selling that much. So they're like, sign up for our subscription and we'll give you this, box set. I don't know. It's I have the Puppet Master set on the way. That's all I know.
It's probably going to be all dusty and sitting in the Full Moon garage. So let me go back to the shows. There is one show that I'm watching that I love, that I need you, Casey Shearer, Casey Trigger Shearer. I need you to watch The Boys.
Oh yeah, I watched The Boys, bro.
You do?
Hell yeah.
I could have sworn I asked you if you did and you said no. But the last season, Holy shit. I don't know how they're getting away with some of the stuff that they're doing on that show. Did you watch this last season?
I'm not caught up yet. No, actually,
Okay, I won't ruin anything, but
when I found out that the new season came out, I started to go back, and I've been watching them at home because the first season of The Boys I watched on the road, and like on the airplane. I watched it on my phone most of the time, so I want to go back and watch it like on a bigger screen before I start the second season. So
yeah, I would. Trust me, for this season, you definitely want to see it the big screen. You want to see it the biggest screens you can. It's some disturbing stuff, and you want to make sure you got every pixel of it. I mean, I don't even know how the show comes up with some of these ideas. And the execution is so gory and bloody and perverted and all the things. Like, it's stuff that could have never made it in the movies back in the day. And now it's just like, throw it onto a TV show on Amazon Prime. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. And sometimes I watch this violent shit, and I'm like, I can handle the violent stuff. Casey maybe can't handle it all. But think about the people that like can't handle any of this and actually get like inspired by it and go out and fucking shoot shit. Like we have all these school shootings. I can't help think that it's people that cannot handle the violent society that we have. Some people can and some people can't. So when I watch these shows, I go, damn, I love it. I fucking love it because it's silly and it's funny and it makes me laugh. But I also at the same time go, maybe we need less of this. And I know a lot of people are going to go, that guy's a prude. That motherfucker, shut him up. Maybe I'm getting older and I'm getting more, vanilla, but I don't know. There's so much violence on TV now. So much. And the world's so much more violent. There's a pretty strong correlation. Correlation doesn't always equal causation, but I don't know, man. These school shootings are fucking brutal.
Yeah.
This is now trendy. School shootings are trendy. Fuck.
Anyway, dude, there's so many school shootings like that we're not even hearing about all of them.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. It's crazy times now. Well, I use TV and all these shows to get away from crazy times. So shows like The Boys are totally over the top and, I can handle that. Shows like The Bear, that's too real. I don't need to have reality in my TV. I have reality outside my door.
Yeah, you know what? The Bear would not be a good show for you because you have like I know you, and it's like so the first so they do flashback scenes, right, of him like working in the restaurant, working in the fancy restaurant, and it's Joel McHale. You know who he is?
Okay, yeah, I like him. He's funny.
He's like he must be like the boss at this famous restaurant, and he's telling the guy who just won the award, the Bear, he's like in his face screaming. He's like, "You fucking hate coming to work every day. Why do you even come here? You do this shit every day. You're wrong. It's wrong." Like just fucking screaming at him constantly. And he's, "Yes, chef. Yes, chef. You're right, chef."
That sounds like real life. I've worked in a kitchen.
Yeah, so maybe it wouldn't be good for you. You might get anxiety just from watching that show.
Yeah. My social anxiety. But as I was watching, so another part of these shows, and this is something I want to ask you. You famously have said, bring back the 90-minute movie. You famously hate the longer movies are going on too long.
Yeah.
And ever since you've started to say this, I'm starting to agree with you. Now, I can handle a very long movie of something I really like, but it's like sometimes these things are too long and you just lose interest. These shows are really movies. They're movies chopped up. Whether they decide to put them all out at once or they stretch them out, they're movies. It's not yeah. So I'm watching, these shows that I told you about, Obi-Wan, Miss Marvel. Like, to me, all of these could be 4-episode shows, but they're forcing them out to be 6, 7, 8 episodes. And it's making me think like that 90-minute movie problem, that when everything is longer than that, you really start to get bored. So I'm sort of worried about this new phase of shows being way too long. Not all stories need to be this long. It's kind of what we talked about with Stranger Things. They made one story. Now they have to keep on going back and forcing other stories out of something that may not have great stories.
Right.
Sitcoms could run forever because every episode was a brand new storyline. So I don't know why they think they need to make these really long shows. I want to see something good, not something long. So I'm starting to get that kind of old person, vibe that you have now, old person with trigger finger. We're getting old, man. We're getting crabby. Get off my lawn. We're gonna be that guy soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when you were just talking. Like, I don't mind the continual story of a show as long as it keeps me wanting more. Like a long movie, sometimes like there's so much shit in there that just doesn't need to be in there for the point that you're trying to get across in the movie. You know what I mean? Like a season or a series or season of shows, they can add a few more plot lines, storylines into that show and not get as confusing, I think, or like drawn out or feel like it's like pointless because it's only half hour, 45 minutes long. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they can pick up on that in another show down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. So not to spoil Stranger Things, it's still new enough to, not the spoiler window is not. Well, how did they say that? The time for spoilers is not now. You have to wait a certain amount of time for it to have been released.
It's over.
It's like 4 weeks. I don't know. Somebody told me there was a formula. But there's a storyline, right? It's one of them shows that has a bunch of different storylines. And one of the storylines is so boring to me. Maybe two of them are boring to me. And I'm like, none of this is even necessary. Everything that happened in those storylines could have just been said or mentioned. People will like those storylines, I guess, but I didn't. But I was like, but that's what made me really think about it. It's like this show for me would have been better if you really condensed some of them storylines down. I don't know. It felt a lot more like a soap opera. A lot of these are feeling like soap operas where there's like 4 or 5 different stories going on at once. Everybody gets their 5-minute camera time and then the next storyline comes on. I don't really like that.
Right.
I don't know. But that's the trend that I see happening in all of these movies or all of these new series and things.
Yeah, well, the old man and the bear aren't really like that. They're focused on basically what I mean, there's a few little side things here and there, but not too much. Yeah. Check out The Old Man. You'll like that.
Yeah, I like Jeff Bridges. I'll watch that. Him dipping, doing all that. Dipping.
Yeah, and John Lithgow, man, he's awesome.
Yeah, like now you're starting to see people together that you never saw before, like when they were in their prime. And they were probably all so expensive that you couldn't see him in one movie because it would be $1 trillion budget.
Yeah.
So now they're like, yeah, I'll work for peanuts. I'm like, all right, we're going to put John Lithgow and Jeff Bridges together.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Did you hear we like talking about, because Tom Cruise, we had a Tom Cruise show the other day. And we like talking about Top Gun because we had Tom Skerritt on, and he gave us the scoop on who died in Top Gun 2. So Top Gun 2 has always been on our radar. It came out. Yep. It did great. People loved it. And then all of a sudden, dude, I don't hear anybody talk about Top Gun. Like, remember in the old days when something came out, you heard about it for weeks. Now when something comes out, you hear about it for a day. Did you see that new Ryan Reynolds movie? Yeah. The Adam Project. Yeah, it was great. And then you forget it even existed.
Yep.
That's another weird thing that's happening.
On to the next thing.
And is that just because there's too much content?
There has to be. There's so much content. So much. Even think about like not even movies, television, as far as content like that. Just think about when you go to the store, the grocery store. How many different products there are on the shelves now than from when we were a kid.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, which is awesome. You know what I mean? That means there's more business, but it's just, there's so much stuff,
Yeah. Well, it changes the fabric of culture a little bit. Like our culture, Hollywood is in movies are our biggest export. I think like we're really a entertainment culture. So it's a fundamental change in the way that we consume entertainment. And so I study marketing. I know that if you give people too many choices, they get paralyzed. It's hard for them to choose. That's why a lot of times you see menus that have very small choices or retail stores that don't give you like tons of choices because it actually helps their sales by having less choices. I don't know, man, with all the content out there, I'm paralyzed. I get super overwhelmed. I start scrolling down these lists on Amazon Prime and after about 5 minutes, I'm like, I'm not seeing anything I want. It's all garbage. I give up. I'll go read a book. Dude, no, it's not true. I can't read. But it's like it's just too much. It's too fucking much.
Yeah,
it's too much for me, and it's only going to get worse.
I get yelled at almost every single time I have the remote in my hand. Just pick something.
Yeah, but remember we did it with the cable box. Remember there was like 400 channels. We would scroll through all 400. Now there's 4 billion shows, so we have to scroll
Yep.
through all 4 billion. It's crazy, man. Just the way things have changed, it just absolutely makes me nuts. I want to go back to the old days of just a fucking tube, ABC, NBC, and CBS, maybe Fox, maybe UPN.
No.
So we were talking about Marvel stuff. Did you see Multiverse of Madness yet? Doctor
No.
Strange 2?
I'm not a Marvel guy, you know that.
I know you're not, but you got to see this one.
No.
Do you know why?
Bruce Campbell.
Oh, it's great. It's great. So, you know who directed it?
Yeah, Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm. And Sam Raimi, I don't know how the fuck. And by the way, this movie's on Disney Plus now, so it went from theaters to streaming super fast. That's another thing. Remember, it used to be a movie comes out that you have to wait 3 months till maybe 4, maybe 5. Now it's like, just give me 20 minutes, I'll put it on streaming. Anyway, so I know you're not a Marvel fan. Please see this movie. So Sam Raimi's got a style. And when you watch Sam Raimi movies, you know, whether you're watching Darkman or the Spider-Man movies or our favorite Evil Dead, we've talked about it all over this show, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness especially, we love Bruce Campbell. He's the man. So Bruce is in almost every Sam Raimi movie, if not in every Sam Raimi movie. It's always a cameo. It's a lot of fun to see him in it. So this movie, Sam Raimi must have said, all right, here's what we're going to do, Disney, or here's what I'm pitching, or here's what somebody pitched and I'm going to do it. We're going to make a horror movie. But I understand that this is Disney and our version of horror would have to be a little softer. It's Disney horror, you know, it's the haunted house. It's not the fucking murder house, you know, but you know, this is Sam Raimi. He makes fucked up shit. So I'm watching this PG-13 movie. It is as gory and scary as Evil Dead 2.
What?
Dude, if I'm telling you that there weren't scenes completely taken out of Evil Dead 2 and used with Marvel characters, it's such a crazy Disney Marvel movie because it's Evil Dead. It's Evil Dead 2. You have to see it and you'll watch it and you'll go, oh, I fucking totally know what he's talking about now. There were so many little actions and zoom ins and musical cues and all sorts of things. It's just like, you know how like the Nothing or the demon comes flying in, they use that camera. You know, like every trick that was in Evil Dead gets used in this Disney movie. In this Marvel movie. And that's why I said you got to see it. And Bruce Campbell's role in it is hysterical. It's the best.
Have you found the car in it yet?
I think I did. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I saw it flying across the screen at one point.
Because you know about that, right? With Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Like even in his, he did like did he do like a Western movie or something?
Yeah, and I've never seen that one. That's
I don't
why
remember that either, but I know the story. Like he removed the body of the car, the Evil Dead car, the Oldsmobile, right? It's an Oldsmobile.
I think so. The tan
he
thing,
removed, he removed the body of it and just used the chassis as as one of the wheels for one of the wagons in that movie.
Really?
So, like that car is supposedly in every single Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
And I think it was when we saw Bruce, or maybe I saw Bruce another time when he was doing one of his conventions. Somebody asked him about like, what is the deal with that? And he was like, something very special must have happened to Sam in that car.
Yeah, I bet. I love Sam Raimi. Like Darkman, I remember not getting. Yeah, you know, I'm calling myself a Sam Raimi fan, and I didn't get Darkman. So I actually on this vacation popped in Darkman and rewatched that, and yeah, I totally see the Sam Raimi moves now. I didn't quite pick him up the first time. He's an interesting director, and a totally bizarre choice for Disney, who owns Marvel.
Right.
Yeah, man, this was a gory movie.
Well, he did the first two, right? The original first two of Spider-Man.
Yeah, with Tobey Maguire. Well,
Yeah.
he did the first 3.
Oh, the first 3.
Mm-hmm. And they have the same kind of. I mean, they're definitely watered down Evil Dead 2 kind of shots and moments, but they water them down in this movie. I wish I could. In a month, we're gonna have to talk about that movie because the shit I saw in that movie is so incredible. Is the spoiler window up for that yet?
Yeah.
Spoilers. If you haven't seen it, you don't want to know. Like, this is the kind of shit that they do. So forever Marvel fans have wanted Fantastic Four to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Fantastic Four was owned by Sony, was owned by or Fox, was owned by a different studio. Now Disney owns it all. Therefore, Marvel has it all. So we knew that it's possible in any one of these movies, somebody who hasn't appeared in a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie could show up. So everybody speculates. Oh, you think Wolverine will be in this one? Think Deadpool will be in this one? So we're watching this movie. It's the Multiverse of Madness. It's the idea of different universes. And all of a sudden, in walks Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. And fans forever have wanted John Krasinski from The Office to play him. Like there's fan art. It's total fan casting. And all of a sudden, John Krasinski's playing this guy. Like it's shit like that Sam Raimi put into this movie. There's so many little winks. You talked about the car that Sam does. He always puts Bruce Campbell in. He always has some kind of corny stare off too. And he tried to put it into this movie. And Kevin Feige, who kind of runs all of Marvel and says what can go, what can't go, all of Marvel in the cinematic universe. He's like, oh, I need you to take that out. That's corny. He's like, come on, Kevin. It's one of my signatures. Can I have it? Can I have it? All right. I guess you can have it. I love people that make movies like that. That's art to me. When you start putting that kind of, signature stuff into it, that's very artistic.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Give the movie a shot. I know you hate Marvel, Disney. I know. You're going to like this one.
All right.
And stay for the secret endings.
Oh, yeah. I always do.
Yeah. You'll love the secret endings.
All right. I'll check it out. All
right. Well, you know what, man? I'm looking at the time. We usually go an hour. I'm out of stuff to say.
Yeah, me too.
So maybe it's time to wrap this up.
Sounds
maybe it's
good.
time to go to plugs.
Maybe
I got to stop talking over you.
Plugs.
Every single time. All right, buddy. Hit me with the plugs.
All right, let's see here. Let me get to our plugs. All right, so we are a part of the Deluxe Edition Network. Check all of the great shows over at theden.show. And our podcast of the month is The Return of the Living Flet. He's a YouTube exclusive show. He does horror reviews of movies, trailer reviews, unboxings, game reviews, all kinds of stuff, interviews. Kyle's a great dude. Check him out. We are on Twitter and Instagram at Deluxe Edition Pod. We have merch over at whatamaneuver.net. And you can find all of our past shows over at deluxeedition.show. And the links to everything that I just mentioned are also there at the deluxeedition.show. And also, one last thing, don't forget to vote for us over at podcastawards.com, or it's podcastawards.com. And it's the very first category, it's the People's Choice, and the very last category on the page. And those are you don't have to actually vote for any of the other categories as long as you click that save button at the bottom. So it's podcastawards.com. And we're in the People's Choice category and TV and film category.
And for every vote, Casey gives you a $5 bill.
A sticker.
I raised it from $1. Felt like we had to make that move. I see you working out your trigger finger, so that must mean it's time to go. All right, everybody, until next time.